Jeff. Or Seth.
It's here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome and thank you for participating in the Downtown Great Barrington Cultural District Annual Meeting. Cue the fanfare, the horns, the whole nine yards. Cultural districts in the Commonwealth are designated by the Mass Cultural Council in order to foster local cultural, business, and job development and attract artists and cultural enterprises to a defined walkable area with a concentration of cultural assets. The Downtown Great Barrington Cultural District is the bullseye of a much larger cultural target positioned within a broad array of farms, restaurants, cultural venues, hiking trails, skiing facilities, hotels and inns, waterways, antique shops, and spas. Next slide, please. As we reflect on our work over the past year, three accomplishments rise to the top. Work that was directly informed by the goals we set for ourselves around this time last year. Moving forward. First, we supported individual artists, primarily through our sponsorship of the Berkshire Busk Festival. Our financial support increased over the previous year and specifically helped pay for performer stipends. Next, please. We also supported individual artists through our collaboration with fellow Berkshire County cultural districts to present Art Week Berkshires, a 10-day festival with over 120 events spread through 15 communities. The collective promotion of Art Week by One Berkshire, the 5 districts, and our media partners helped increase awareness of artists locally and around the region. The Art Week landing page on berkshires.org had over 5,600 unique page views, and social media posts garnered more than 140,000 total impressions. Next, we increased awareness of the district itself. We increased our following on social media, growing our total audience by 38% this year, for a total of 3,041 followers across platforms. We have not been able to devote as much committee member time to social media as hoped this year, so as you'll see in later slides, this is an area that we'll be investing in more heavily in the coming year. The main purpose of our social media accounts is to share news from cultural entities and artists in and around the district. Please tag us in your posts to make sharing even easier. We're also happy to co-host events on Facebook. Next. We also increased awareness of the district through a collaborative project funded entirely by the Mass Office of Travel and Tourism. The 3-month Berkshire's Beckons campaign, which included digital retargeting and social media promotion, delivered 39 million impressions on Google Ads Network and 7 million impressions through Facebook and Instagram this past summer. Partners on this effort included cultural districts, local chambers of commerce, and outdoor recreation venues throughout the Berkshires. Each partner received a list of over 3,100 email addresses that we can now contact with directly. Next. Having worked with Silo Media to build our website 2 years ago, we continue to make the site more user-friendly and have added a section featuring all the artists who contributed to our banner project. Next. Speaking of the banners.
Oops, sorry.
Go back one.
There we go.
There we go. Speaking of the banners, we recruited local artists to help us develop banners honoring the many facets of art and culture in and around downtown Great Barrington in 2021. This year, Ed, what was the name of the gentleman who spearheaded that one?
Monty Becker, a visitor from Texas. Yeah.
He just did a tremendous job. We arranged all 26 banners in a mural format on the exterior wall at Car Hardware, ensuring that they'll be available for viewing throughout the year rather than only seasonally. Another accomplishment is that our steering committee expanded and evolved again this year, thanks to these willing participants who brought new perspectives and ideas to the discussions. We're looking to grow again in fiscal year 23. Please be in touch if you're interested. The easiest way to email us is at culturalgb@gmail.com. We also want to take a moment to recognize a couple of steering committee members who have stepped up for leadership roles. Ed Abrams has served as a co-chair for several years, and as he steps down from that role, we're welcoming Chris Cantor as the incoming co-chair, serving alongside me. Thank you, Ed, for your service, and thanks, Chris, for stepping up. Next. As we move into our 5th year, we have our sights set on 4 primary goals. We'll improve visitor experience by supporting improvements to the downtown historic walking tour app and wayfinding signage. We'll support public art within the downtown by sponsoring Berkshire Busk and also exploring other partnerships focused on visual art installations. We'll invest in paid assistance from a social media expert to ensure our work benefits you more broadly. And we'll keep working with fellow cultural districts around the Berkshires on collaborations like Art Week Berkshires. We'd now like to invite your feedback on today's presentation and learn more about what you'd like to see happen in the cultural district in the coming year. Please share your thoughts in the chat tool at the bottom of your screen, and we'll help guide the discussion. Somebody's in there.
We have a few guests join us since we began. So if we want to just ask folks to introduce themselves who signed on since the presentation, we have Diane Wurtis. And you're muted.
Sorry, I had to log on from my phone today, which I don't normally do. Computer issues. Hi, Diane Wurtis at the Mahawi and lived in Great Barrington for 20 years. Recently moved to Sheffield. Happy to be here for the first time.
Thanks for being here. Lori Bashore is with us with video off, but possibly sound on. Lori, can you speak?
Yes, hi, my name is Lori, and Lori Bashore. I live in Egremont, and I'll listen and I can talk and happy to be here, but I'm driving, so I want to leave the video off.
And Barbara, you joined us after we did introductions. Can you say hi?
Hi, my name is Barbara Watkins. I'm sorry, I was trying to log in for the last 14 minutes and I finally got here. So thank you.
And so is there any comments, discussion regarding the presentation? It's been, I think it's been an exciting year for the cultural district and the promise of more things moving forward as we go.
Hello, Jeff here, Van de Vries.
Yes, Jeff.
And really, really exciting in what's been accomplished that last year. Berkshire Busk is pretty wonderful. And as far as my interest in growing participation with the Cultural Council, WBCR seeks to become again more audience interactive, more community necessary, and would love to offer up what we have as a studio on Main Street for whatever conversation, interactions, scheduling, announcements, in whatever feature that we can find. It's a wonderful tool. We also stream worldwide. I personally host a morning show that has open mic time and is kind of designed for positive starting of the day and announcements. Right now, I manage just what's listed on Town of GB, but would love to be more present and active and learn more about this technology, or how we can participate in the technology of that walking tour. I don't know. I wouldn't use it myself. I'm a wagon wheel, but it sounds just dandy. Thank you.
Jeff, I'm just gonna think out loud here, but given your location on Main Street in downtown GB, I think we'd love some representation of WBCR on the Cultural District Steering Committee.
Excellent, excellent. We are
So that's
starting
you or
to,
someone else from the station. We should have that conversation.
cool. We are trying to get an established monthly meeting and learn how to be a membership and an organization ourselves. Something that a lot of habits mostly stop, not a lack of desire, just not really a lot of people with experience of being individuals in an organization. So I think we could both empower each other that way. But first Tuesday of each month, and then I'll bring it up to the folks after this meeting also. Anyway, we can participate. Oh, we got that window on Main Street.
Well, and I can also share this with the larger group, which I was going to do anyway. And this is something that you can take to your meeting when you're talking with the other folks at the station. The heavy lifting of this organization is done almost entirely by Laura Brennan and Wiley Goodman and Chris Rembold. So 3 cheers to all 3 of them for, this script, which, I'm just a talking head here today. They wrote the script, I read it. It's remarkable how much work they put into this. And I'm just very, very grateful because we're all busy and doing other things. And it's so nice to have.
You read it beautifully, Seth.
No, thank you so much.
Despite a number of typos and missed words that I realized as we were going through.
Couple suggestions, Wiley. We may want to do a profile of the radio station. I don't think we have in the newsletter.
I just wrote us in the chat that, we could, Jeff, it would be great to connect. We could write a little story about this and your efforts for the e-newsletter that we put out once a month. If you're not on the mailing list for that, you should be.
And then going the other way when you guys talk, Jeff, the Cultural District Facebook page promotes a lot of events going on in town. So we should hook you up to that so you could announce those.
Or find someone at the station who does Facebook.
Right. Yes.
Sorry.
Is there any other discussion points people want to make? Or
I was wondering, because we sort of had to get through this presentation quickly without a lot of explanation of some of the things we're going to be investing in. Chris Rambold, I'm going to put you on the spot and see if you can tell us more about that walking tour app and how this committee has talked about broadening it and expanding what that offers.
Good idea. Good morning, everybody. So the walking tour app idea is, well, first of all, the Historical Commission for the town of Great Barrington put together a historical walking tour app, and you can download it from the iTunes store or Google Play or whatever. I'm not sure exactly what the title of the app is. And there's also a brochure and map here in the lobby of Town Hall and maybe in the chamber booth, et cetera. And the app it's a self-guided tour of historic buildings in downtown Great Barrington, St. James Place, Town Hall, and the Winged Victory Monument, the major buildings, what is here and what was here, the churches, the castle, et cetera. So it's a really great highlight of the historical significance and architecture of downtown. And you can just download it and do it at your pace.
It's called Great Barrington Tours.
Great Barrington Tours? Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. You'll see like a historic photo of, I think, a congregational church or something, if you look for it. Anyway, the idea is that since there's capacity in this platform to add more features, the idea is to plug in locational aspects of where cultural venues are, the cultural district boundary, of course. Maybe there are amenities that we'd like to point people to, maybe eventually public bathrooms, parking lots, the things that visitors, shoppers, and event goers to downtown really like to know when they're downtown supporting businesses and cultural activities. So history, culture, all in one app. That's the idea.
Excellent, thank you.
Can I ask a question of the folks who are guests? I'm curious how many of you knew about Art Week and went to Art Week events. That would be really interesting to know.
This is Diane. I knew about Art Week. I did not go to events. I saw banners a year ago for Cultural District. I know Karen is active in the Cultural District, so I am still learning what the Cultural District is doing.
Yeah, I saw the announcements and also did not get around to any visits or events.
John?
I also saw announcements and media about it, but I was out of town, so I wasn't able to get to it. But I did take a walking tour in downtown Great Barrington, which was excellent.
Very good. Does anybody have any other questions or comments or suggestions?
This is Chris. I think, we are always trying to get messaging out there. Ed and Wiley just talked about the newsletter and maybe doing a highlight of the radio station. But if folks have ideas, whether you're on the committee or not, whether you're just visiting town and you see a store or an event or something that you think should be highlighted that might be of interest, please let us know and we can highlight it in our newsletters and social media. Anything we can do to let people know what's happening, even if you're a longtime resident, you may forget how cool downtown is. And if you're just looking to make a weekend out of it, these newsletters and these social media posts can really help. So help us spread the word and send us your ideas.
Very good.
Yeah, that's a very good example of me not knowing what kind of muscle and structure the radio station had, and also not getting a hint to address my situation as a pedestrian and how to enjoy the Art Week by learning about it and then broadcasting how to do Art Week. So apologies, and I appreciate now being more active in this to learn how to use BCR for the Cultural Council and GB.
That'd be great. And Robin, are those high rises behind you? Are you in Brussels? You're muted.
I am in Brussels. I'm in my daughter's apartment. And if you're going to ask me to pronounce the area, it will be butchered. It's Jesse. I'll tell ya.
It's late afternoon where you are, so there we go.
You
And
get
it's
to
beautiful
call it
weather.
a business expense because there's chocolate there.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for participating. Again, please reach out to us at culturalgb@gmail.com or chat with any of the steering committee members to get involved. Oh, isn't that cute? All of our steering committee members. Thank you to everyone. If there's no further discussion, I think we're good.